Warm greetings, good evening for the seventh session. It's so nice, this momentum, helpful for all of us. And as always, very welcome to come into camera if you can. I'd like to share an image that I was reminded of from yesterday. The poor boy is fully immersed, but he's still crying out in some sense, "How come I never hear your voice?" Such a sweet image, and it actually says a lot, and something to reflect on if we can relate. So I'd love to share an inspiring quote. This is actually by Swami Vivekananda, and he said, "This is the way to success." He says, if you take up one idea and make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, the muscles, the nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. And this continuity that's so helpful of the invisible traveler right from the first day when we understand the true I, and we understood it through science, through our own experiments and the message of pain, then the psychodrama of Ram and Sita. But it's all connected, and finally the friend, the one that's stable in this consciousness, and all of it helps to build our experience and certainty, and if we feel it's right, to really put it in place. It's a beautiful confirmation and building of that foundation of spirituality. So would like to welcome Prishat, and as always, your insights, your thoughts, questions as we go through. We will be sharing details of the follow-up as well at the end. Good evening, Prishat.
Yeah, thank you, and hello, and appreciate for completing the marathon of these 7 days. That itself, in time we are going to give certificates to those who complete 7 days. You might get a certificate also. So just an overview of what we saw. We discussed right at the beginning the life of freedom as opposed to bondage. Birds, animals, any creature, if it is trapped, it suffers. Basic need of every creature is to be free, and then it leads to happiness. We saw that at one level we are looking for freedom, but at a very deep level we have lost freedom completely. We saw that this entire physical world is truly an extra gift for us. But from the start, we get caught into this spiral. Attraction, bondage, attachments, and until we get trapped in it. That has become the journey of everyone. Trapped more and more, we are trapped to such an extent that we don't even know that we are trapped. We truly are unconscious at a deep level. And that is when this other consciousness takes over. We call it false ego and broadly Ravan. And what is the uniqueness of Ravan? For him, ignorance is normal. So he is embodiment of ignorance. He says this world, foreign world, is his world. He's celebrating. He's building fences. He's settling down in it, claiming this is mine, and keeping guard that no one is going to touch his mine. Shamelessly and senselessly. That is, so he's the embodiment of ignorance, embodiment of bondage. And as we saw, both of these, ignorance and bondage, leads to sorrow. And then his life is take sorrow, give sorrow. That is, more Ravan gets bigger, that becomes the direction. We can now understand why the world, you see all these patterns, behaviors. When these same beings were free, they were divine beings. They all are immensely lovely if they are free. When they come into bondage, then they sorrow starts, and then they have to protect themselves from this sorrow, from uncertainty, from the end, from death, all fabricated, all because of ignorance. So Ravan within us is our main enemy. It sort of blocks us. But once Ravan has come in, he stubbornly wants to be there. He doesn't want to die. So holds everyone in that lower consciousness. And the true invisible traveler is not even conscious. This is the state of affairs. There is this invisible traveler, he's not even conscious. Yesterday we saw the personality of the supreme friend. He is the friend of the true self. He is the friend of the invisible traveler. He is not the friend of Mr. Ego. What we are meaning really, that everyone else you meet, they are not the friends of the soul. We all have many friends. They are not even concerned about the soul. They may not even want to know about you, the real you. But they are friends. Whose friends are they? They are friends in the Cinderella world. Ego is very happy with his friends. It is as if ego is becoming friend of the ego, and it is working at that level. But no one is a friend of the real you. They completely ignore the real you. The supreme being, supreme soul, is the friend of you, the true self. Even when you are conscious, when you are not conscious, he remains the friend. He has aimed to help you become free. We also saw Ravan and Ram. They are like opposing personalities. Ravan is embodiment, stubbornly into ignorance. Ram is stubbornly into truth, in wisdom. Ravan is helplessly into bondage. Ram is into freedom. He gives freedom to others. Mukti, Jivan Mukti, liberation in life. Ravan takes sorrow, gives sorrow. Ram, no sorrow. Under all situations, doesn't know sorrow, but deals with happiness. Take happiness, give happiness. All the personality traits which we do not like in anyone else, any kind. There is some kind of a cunningness sometimes, some manipulation, some denial, anything we do not like in anyone. Its origin is Ravan. 100% time. Something that you do not like in yourselves and do not like in others. Seed is Ravan. Ram is opposite. It is like a divine personality. Because he doesn't need anything. He is beyond harm. He doesn't need to defend, protect. He knows his immortality. So he remains divine in the character. That's why he is like the supreme friend of everyone. That is the personality of each and everyone. All are in that direction. They are like that. Divine personality. Other side is the demonic personality. And human beings are moving in this direction, one from one end to the other end. And that's what we saw. Today we are going to see the details of our journey whilst we are in the physical level. In a simple map we saw that when we are going through this physical world, let me draw it again. So here is a physical world, and the simple map we showed. We are travelers, we are guests, we are passing through this. And it may appear as if we start here, we take birth, we die, and that is the journey. One lifetime. It may appear like that. But what we are going to discuss today, this journey is not just one life. It is a journey that involves many lives. We saw the video at one point that shows a scientist talking about reincarnation. So there is a factor of reincarnation in this. Birth, death, we go through the journey. But also during this journey, we go through different phases. Our personality changes, and with that, our outer character also changes. So we go through different phases, and it is interesting for us to know these phases and this journey of the individual. Everyone goes through these phases. This is like a nice model for sociology. I'm sure at some point it will go in the sociology books. It is a spiritual model, and spiritual, because it is spiritual model, it has smartness. It explains almost everything to us. In these models, we come to know what is happening in society, how society is made. It gives you some insights in this. So far, so good, I hope. Now, let me give the list of the clans we go through. We start with what we call a Brahmin clan. And each clan has its own energy. Brahmin is a student life. And when we are in this Brahmin clan, there is a immense love for knowledge. So that shows us that this particular individual is in the Brahmin phase, Brahmin clan. If you go to some village, there will be some who spend more time in the libraries. They know where the bookshops are. Brahmin phase doesn't last forever. None of these phases last forever. It may be one lifetime, maybe one shorter, but maybe a few lives. But then we go to the next phase, and next phase is called the deity phase. When we are in this deity phase, what is the energy of the deity? Energy of the deity is happiness. Brahmin is the student life, deity is the result, and take happiness, give happiness. That is the energy of the deity. Then we come to the next level. Deity that don't last forever. Next level, we call it warrior. And when we are in the warrior level, the energy of happiness is not there. So we go to the next lower level, and that is energy of courage. We'll show it in more detail. We'll go into the detail. Warrior doesn't mean they are fighting all the time, but that name is used, that word is used. What is after warrior? What is the phase we come into? Do you want to guess?
I don't know if it's possible to guess, but some may know. Merchant.
It is a merchant. And when we are in the merchant phase, our energy, we don't have courage either. So we are looking for comfort when we are at this level. And then we go even further down, even merchant and a comfort. Then next level, we call it Shudra. And at this time, we are running out of all energies. So what remains now is laziness. What is after Shudra? Do you want to make a guess?
Brahmins, slaves was written.
After Shudra is, we use the word demonic, demon phase. It is like a opposite of the deity. Deity, take happiness, give happiness. In the demon, take sorrow, give sorrow. And after that, you are right, we come back to the Brahmin. It so happens we can't handle our own burden, sorrow. So we want to come out of that sorrow. We use wisdom, and so we come back in the Brahmin phase. And with knowledge, we come back. So if you see this list, the Brahmin is the phase when we are going up, and then as a result, there is a deity phase, and from that time onwards, the journey downwards, a bit like early clocks. It used to take you 1 minute to wind it up, and it takes 24 hours to unwind. It is this kind of a structure exists in this world, in this model. Now let us come to each of these individual phases. What this model is telling us that each and everyone on this planet, whether they are from South America or North America or Greenland, each human being goes through these different phases. And in the journey involves many lives, you will see this pattern. There is a time when they are in the Brahmin phase, another time they go into warrior phase. So if you take a cross section of a society, you will see different people are at different level. This model says nothing is good, no one is bad or good. We all have been there. We all have been Brahmin also, and we have been Shudras also, and we have been in our. So we all go through different phases. Just that at a cross section, there are some at the Brahmin level today, and some at the Shudra level, and some at level, different level. We'll come to the Brahmin and try and understand what happens here in the Brahmin phase. So when we are in this Brahmin level, we said first thing you will notice, it will stand out. They have love for knowledge. It is extra. Maybe everyone might like to read things now and then, but those who are in this phase, whenever there is free time, they will be with their books. But larger life of the Brahmin, they like simplicity. They like cleanliness. Attitude is towards that. They have something to do with God. They may not be necessarily worshipping God, but they see God as a symbol of truth, wisdom, and they search for God, they want to know about God. Maybe in that direction. They will have some responsibility towards the community and a spirit of service. In essence, they have wisdom. Like, for example, in the community, there's some simple things that need to be done, and they can change the hygiene system of the town, and everyone can be healthier. So they know about this. They have wisdom, knowledge, and that motivates them to take steps. As a result, the larger society benefited. They might create some library where more people have access to things, learn wisdom. In their own way, they have spirit. Personally, their life is there is simplicity. They don't want to sort of buy more. There is simplicity in their lives. So time gets used for community service. So these are the ones in the Brahmin phase. I'll give you one example. This one friend of ours, she says, she and other sisters, my parents would go to visit someone, their friends, and all the sisters, they go to the other house. Others take different things. They take toys. But this particular girl will take her books when they go to the other house. As soon as they arrive at the other end, she will find some corner where there is table lamp light. She will sit there, read her books. Others are doing different things, playing around. She will read the books. And when it is time to go home, she collect her books, she comes back home. So this is like you get an idea from young age. Here is a Brahmin. If in the Brahmin phase you are lucky, you may come across the spiritual knowledge. There are many who are in the Brahmin phase, and they may be reading books on history and books about some Greek civilization, and they're experts in all this and get prizes, brain of their country. But they may not be lucky to come across spiritual knowledge. Why? Because it is the spiritual knowledge that takes you up the spiral. Learning about some mythology of some country, that will not take us up the spiral. So one has to be lucky in this. So the next phase, if as was said, if they're lucky and come across the right knowledge, they come into the next phase, and we called that phase deity phase. What happens when you are in the deity phase? We said their life is of happiness. Take happiness, give happiness. Those who are in the deity phase, their life is of perfection. Or others will feel this one is a perfect man, and everything right about them. This sort of feeling others get. There is lightness. Some use the word, this one is not from this planet, is not like everyone else, this kind of feeling. It also means they don't easily get affected by situations. They don't take sorrow. They are naturally positive in their attitude. Give an example. Say there may be 10 things going wrong in the life, one thing going right. He says he's very lucky. Things are going so good in his life. He sees what is going right. Someone has done 20 wrong things, one right thing. He says, oh, he is doing so. He's my good friend. He helped me somewhere. Someone has got 10 virtue, 10 defects, one virtue. He notices the virtue. So his life is so wonderful, he feels, because he naturally tends to focus on the positive, and he's happy. He just enjoys the joy of being alive. He doesn't need cakes to be happy. He's just happy. Supersensuous happiness, the inner happiness. Because of all this, he also will be seen as lucky. In other words, at a deeper level, there are no Vinash forces. There are forces of honor, and that's why he finds himself lucky. He is also, if you go into his medical history, you will find he's lucky with health also. You said all the very minimum health problems, and most of them are fixed in a minor intervention. He doesn't need to take vaccine, COVID vaccine.
Controversial percent, but you get the idea anyway.
He does anything he does it with happiness. Like an example, you ask him to wash pots. It will feel fun. It is like fun to wash pots. 2 hours he's washing pots. It is fun. He enjoyed it later. Not by management program or something like this. In actual instinct, he enjoys life. He enjoys doing things. And If you ask him middle of the night, shall we go for a walk? He says, sure. That sure is a very natural reaction from them. They will try to do things that you like. Yeah, let us go. It will be nice. But they enjoy. They do things out of happiness, and they might go to in some places. You say they go for a walk. The whole day they are walking. They are not in competition. They just enjoy walking. They walked many miles. They climb mountain. Not in competition. They just enjoy life. Also happy to be on their own. They enjoy their own company. That's why perfect men. They may go to Mount Everest. They go to Mount Everest every day after breakfast just because they enjoy. They are not going there to prove that they climbed Everest. Now let us come to the next level. The next level is warrior. That is a literal translation. The word is kshatriya, and we are translating as warrior. It may not be the right word for this clan because it is not, they are fighting all the time. But one thing is sure, they do not have the happiness that the deities have. So the next best energy with which they operate, that is courage. And this manifests with the spirit of adventure, risk-taking, competition. They are more likely to be drawn into this competition. But if the need be, they are also ready to fight and they are into battle. If the need be, they are ready to do that. They like to dominate. They like to be in charge, rule. That tendency is there. One question, and maybe those who are hearing first time, they get first chance to answer. They were deities, and the same one become warrior, and they don't have this energy of happiness anymore. What changes them from deities to warrior? What brought about the change? Why they don't remain deities forever?
One answer is circumstances changed, body consciousness. So some shift in the stage. Ravan starts to intervene. Ignorance is created. Maya, life happens.
One factor, as we are emphasizing also in our discussion, is the factor is bondage, attachment. The moment you create first attachment in this unpredictable world, you are experiencing fear. When you have no attachment, zero attachment, there is happiness. Life of, there is no reason for slightest discomfort. It is all story world. It is not yours world. You are in peace and you are content. You create first attachment that subconsciously this is going to go. It's like the example we heard of the boy with his toy, great attachment to the toy, and then he's crying. a fear of losing, insecure feeling. There is fear, that's why you need courage. Courage is required to overcome fear. Deities don't have to use courage because there is no fear in the first place. So those who are in the warrior phase, you will see, if you see all the countries, whether it is Roman Empire, at that time, the remote part, Rome, that time, and they reached all over the, Europe, across the sea, so all this requires a spirit of adventure, risk taking. For them, death is not a problem. They're not frightened of death. Notice they are having that different attitude. Deities don't have fear of death either, but this is seen, with warriors more clearly because they are ready to challenge, not the risk taking and all. You need no fear of death or less fear of death. Competition, they want to reach before you. May I ask, we said deities will go to Mount Everest. They will do out of joy. How will the warrior go to Mount Everest?
So, to be the first one there with a selfie stick. To attain something, he wants to be first, competing, comparing, to capture it on Facebook, to show his power.
Yeah, warrior will go there with his flag, and he definitely want to be there before others, and that's competition. Competition will be there. He might even claim that that is my mountain, my mount. He might like to name it by his name. You know, so adventure is there, risk taking is there, courage is there, but competition is also there. One good example of this, one in the warrior phase, someone by name John Bullimore, just in the news. This was many years ago in this country. He was in the competition, around the globe sailing competition. In the middle of the Pacific, there was a storm, and that storm was in the area where he was there. So they thought it is impossible for him to survive this storm in the middle of the Pacific. And he did not reach the destination where he was expected. So they thought he must have died. But every 3 days there was some blip signal was coming to the base from him. So they wondered if he's still alive somewhere. So they asked airlines flying in that area to look out if they see anyone. And some airline located his capsized boat. And then Australian Navy that was in that area was asked to meet. They found him. By that time it was 6 weeks. He was in the freezing water in that area. So he was airlifted. He was a hero. He came back to this country. And some wanted to make film and they wanted to give him millions. 2 weeks time, as soon as he recovered from his whatever, the doctors gave him, released him, discharged him from the hospital. He went for his next sailing, expedition. For him, money is not his treasure. Adventure is his life, you know, and he's a warrior. He may die in some situation like that. He may die, but then that is not a problem for him. They are like made of the stuff warriors are made of. Now we come to next level, and next level is the merchant. And we said energy of the merchant is comfort. Which means he hasn't got the energy of the adventure and courage and risk taking. He is taking a safer position. He likes to be safe and secure, so he gravitates to building a big fence around his house, and then he can be quite safe in that place. He gravitates towards money is a very important thing for him. For him, that is what will provide him security, and but that takes a form of opulence. Opulence means he has to show off how much he has got. Some like to show a big car, diamond, jewels. That is very merchant, the showing off wealth. But if you go to the household of a merchant, you will see it talks about shares and market forces, and that is very important for those who are. It doesn't necessarily mean they are doing the job of the merchant, but the the the, the deeper mindset is of the merchant. May I ask why they became merchant? They were warriors. Why warriors changed to merchant? What brought about the change?
They lose their war. They get success, but want to hold on to their success. They become lazy. There's a drop. Enticed by money. And then there was comfort seeking.
What happens is we said that the deities become warriors because of attachments. Now the attachments are increasing. There are more attachments. Now he has got children and grandchildren and dog and cat, and banks are involved, and he has to pay the mortgages and television and licensing and taxes. He has got so much expansion in this world with all these attachments. So risk taking, going to the North Pole is not his priority. He would rather build a big fence and keep lots of food and be safe. You can rule. He's quite happy. You can rule. We'll fund your budget, but buy my computers. So that's why he chooses a trade where there is less hassle, less risk, safer, and then he can continue with his attachments. So we said here, food is also important aspect for the merchant. Rich food, things revolving around food, more food. And how will a merchant go to Mount Everest? We said deities will go there in happiness. Warriors will go with their flag. Merchant, how will merchant go to Mount Everest?
If he would go, he would be worried about it. Then some it's a bit of a stress. Doesn't look like he would go. Maybe there's not. Maybe with some extra support, transport, with more luggage, people to carry the luggage.
He will not go to Mount Everest, but he will sell tickets. He will organize tours. His the whole idea of Everest is, where is the profit? How can he make some commission here? And so that is most important for him. Go to the household of the deities. There will be natural perfection. Things are simple, but there will be perfection. Right thing is kept at the right place. Everything appears nice, best. Less expense, better taste. That is the deity. Go to the household of a Brahmin, there will be complete simplicity, but some inspiring. If there are photographs, they are made to inspire, not a worship. The atmosphere will not be of worship atmosphere, educational atmosphere. There will be slogans written somewhere. They are meant to uplift others. Educational books, opportunities for others to learn. Discussion of new ideas, new information. That is the Brahmin atmosphere. Go to the household of a warrior. You might see the skin of the tiger somewhere, some weapons, ancestral weapons, photographs of someone with a military uniform. Their birthday is celebrated with 21 gun salute. That is warrior tradition. Go to the house of a merchant. What will you see? You will see glitter, diamonds, gold, things made of something like this, big car somewhere. And they want to show within their limits. They want to show their collection, or definitely smell of food of all kinds. Merchants, these are usually, they like food, so that is. They're called endomorphs. Endomorphs are usually fat, so those who are in that phase. Warriors are mesomorphs. They are more muscular. And Brahmins are ectomorph. They are tall, thin, with glasses. They are more likely to be Brahmins. So we have seen it is the journey of each one going through these different phases. At one time, they are into, deity phase. We said deity phase, there is a more taste, less expense. When we come to the merchant level, more expense, less taste. That's why lots of gold and glitter and everything there, but less taste, because the intellect is not working that well. You are further down the spiral. Next phase, we are seeing we don't stay in the Brahmin phase forever. We are in the Shudra phase now. And when we are at the Shudra level, what happens? There is laziness. You are running out of all these energies. Laziness of the head, it presents as dullness. And as a result, things get distorted. You share certain things, like say today we are discussing certain things, and then Shudra is getting that information on to somebody else. It will be completely different. It gets distorted completely, can be even upside down even. It is understood in a wrongly, but it is also confusion. But when this is at the same side, those who are in the Shudra phase, the indulgence is getting worse. Indulgence means that they want their chocolate, followed by coffee, followed by television they want to watch, video they want to watch, films they want to watch, chewing gums in between. It is like they say, what's the next hit? This is the life of a Shudra. One cheap pleasure followed by next pleasure. May I ask why? Why this indulgence is on the increase in Shudra?
Feeling empty inside, bored, and lack of mental stability. They say empty mind is devil's workshop. It's across the line.
Yeah, what is really happening as one is going down, Ravan is getting bigger. You're gone down, you crossed the line, the dotted line. So that becomes Ravan's kingdom. All the heads of Ravan are getting bigger. And now you come the Shudra phase, Ravan says, I want this chewing gum now. And now it's another head says, I want to watch this. So indulgence is big, and it can be, towards degradation also. It can be smoking, anything. Shudra, one can reach any level. So indulgence and at the same time dullness of the intellect. How will Shudra go to Mount Everest?
But the merchant doesn't go. I don't think the Shudra would go. Won't go. Maybe he will watch it on TV. That's one option. Watch a video of someone else going on sort of vicariously someone else's. He can't think of going.
Yeah, he will watch it on the video while having some drinks of some kind. So that is his idea of Mount Everest. He will be watching all sports in a very interesting sport, but he's watching. He doesn't play any game ever. That is Shudra. You go to the household of a Shudra. We said you go to the household of a warrior, you might see the skin of a tiger. You go to the household of a merchant, you might see, some glitter of some kind. You go to the household of a Shudra, what will you see?
Little bit untidy. Maybe some clutter. Maybe takeaway boxes. Little bit scattered. Yeah. Chaotic, untidy.
Possibly they are still asleep when you arrive. They might find you arrived so early. So the household of a Shudra will be opposite of the Brahmin. Brahmin household is cleanliness and there is a simplicity. This is opposite of Brahmin Shudra.
Sounds like student Student house.
What is after Shudra? We come to the demon phase. And just like Shudra is opposite of Brahmin, demon is opposite of the deity. So one who is in this phase, it is like take sorrow. For slightest reason, they take offense and they give offense. Give sorrow, give offense. But it can go to any level. Sensitivity is very high. Because Ravan is now, as a Shudra, you are feeding Ravan full time. So now Ravan is fully in charge. And that's why Ravan's life of extreme sensitivity, taking sorrows, paranoia in different form. He holds Ravan, demon has all the memory and drives. He holds all these grudges and he may use them to take his offense and revenge. These are demon tendencies, demon traits. Take sorrow, give sorrow. Each one goes to his own level of the lowest, but we all go to our lowest level. At least we have taken sorrow, tendency to take sorrow. And that it may be with some extra sensitivity in some, less in others. And after that, we become Brahmins again, we said. May I ask, how will a Brahmin go to Mount Everest?
Good question.
Those who are hearing first time this question, they get first chance to answer. How will Brahmin go to Mount Everest?
Maybe they will use their mind, intellect, sort of in a meditative state through meditation. With a map, he would have some sense. Maybe he would fly, not quite sure how. Spiritually, he would go.
And Brahmins won't go to Mount Everest either. What a waste of time. Brahmins have got full program. There are so many things to do here in our world here. And the Brahmins have responsibility. They take responsibility for the society. And there are things to do here. And he needs time. He needs resources to carry on with his task. Warriors, they got nothing much to do. They are into competition. And sometimes it may be useless competition, and they would be risking life for what? To climb a rock or something. That is, there is no intelligence there. And if we said deities are perfect in their head and heart, but then as we go further down, you see something creeping in and they are losing their clarity, their limits in their judgment. So warriors, they get drawn into competition, and then it is useless what they are doing for the society or for themselves. Merchants, but they will go by another tangent. Brahmins, they will say this is not his priority to climb Mount Everest. So we saw this journey, the whole journey of the souls through these different phases. I would like to say that these words are used in India in different castes and all. These words are used. The way we are using them is not based on the family caste. If we are not saying some are in the merchant caste and some are born in the Shudra caste, we don't mean it that way. In the same family, one can be in the Brahmin caste and another can be in the warrior caste and someone can be in the Shudra caste. In the same family, they are born in one family and that family may be of certain caste. But we are talking about the mindset of the individual soul. The deep level, someone may be a deity, someone may be warrior, like that. So it is a journey of the soul and not based upon the caste label that is given in some societies. Now you get an idea. If you take a cross section of any city, like you take a cross section of some city in say Scandinavian countries, there may be more in the deity and warrior level and less at Shudra and demon level. And you will see that happening, how the city operates, how the traffic operates, how people do things, how the local rules are. It reflects from there. How the trust remains, how the schools operate. Everything is happening because the ratio is there is more of the. It doesn't mean there has to be 90% deities, but if there is a certain ratio, let us say 10% deities, and that shifts the social behavior. But if the Shudra, the ratio changes, it increases. It can be the same city down the line, some years later. Shudra ratio is higher, demon ratio is higher. You will see the chaos, at every level. There will be some chaos. Whether it is the way they manage schools and the way they manage traffic and the way they manage. Everyone wants to go fast. Everyone don't trust anybody else. This kind of thing. If she's a warrior, they want to compete in something like something else. And so there is a cross section. When you come across people, we can't use one size fits all. Like sometimes governments, they say such and such a policy, it worked in one country. They will use the same policy in another country. It won't work. Not necessarily, because the community may be at a different level. One country, people may be at a warrior level, another place, they may be at a Shudra level. So the policy that worked in one country may not work in another place. You may have to think, consider this factor. Whom are we dealing with? You have to consider that, and then the certain approach will work there. Yeah, let us hear some thoughts from you.
Thank you. It's fascinating. It's very practical to navigate. Yeah, there are sort of half dozen questions. Maybe I can go through. Does each individual go through these phases in a lifetime?
Journey of the soul will involve many lives.
Could these be personality traits as well? These phases, clans?
Yeah, that is the way we can recognize. Yes.
When you talked about losing happiness, that's why we get the warrior. Someone was asking, having children, does that mean losing happiness? Not completely related, but if you have any.
And those who are in the deity phase, they are happy in all situations, as I said. They are very happy washing pots. They are happy with on their own. They are happy with people. They enjoy. They have the joy of their existence. So that is different.
Yeah. And when you talked about the merchant and the attachments, maybe.
This is more the attachments. It is more the attachments we are creating. Then we move from warrior to merchant.
Maybe connected to that, someone's asking, having a family life, does that mean going down the spiral?
Everyone is in some kind of a phase, but in the given situation, we are learning how to come up the spiral. We are learning how to be the trustee in the situation, and then become soul conscious.
Someone's asking specifically, does that mean going from warrior to merchant?
Not necessarily. Here we have seen the pattern that has happened to the society and has happened to us also. But now we are coming in the Brahmin phase. We are understanding knowledge. And so with knowledge, we are going up the spiral. There will be some social situation, some circumstance, each one. We are in the family, with people, job, whatever is in every situation, we have the option to go up the spiral. Situation isn't the story. That situation is not a limitation for us.
Not so much the outer situation, it's the attitude and what's going on inside that we're looking at here. You mentioned we can't tell from the outer birth circumstance, and one could even be in a profession, like I think you mentioned once, like a doctor, but they could have a merchant attitude to that, or a deity attitude, or otherwise. How can you escape from attachments if you have to fulfill and provide basic necessities like food, clothing, and shelter?
As we have discussed in the past, but one simple word is trustee. Just like if I was asked, not look after this house and there are some plants, look after those plants. I'm quite happy to find whatever that is required for the plants and take care for the time I'm here. But deep inside, I know I don't need the plant in the first place. But I'm quite happy to take care as a trustee. In the same way, here, the invisible traveler is passing through this story world, and he doesn't need anything from the story. Deep inside, he knows this. He knows his innate freedom. And he is quite happy during this time, to be trustee of the body to start with. To take care of the body, give the body whatever is required. Quite happy to be trustee of the larger, duties also, whatever that needs to be done, but as a trustee.
Yeah, thank you. A couple more questions, if it's okay.
Yeah.
So I hope that helps. Now, can a deity be anyone, not only those who are studying to be Brahmin with Brahma Kumaris teachings?
Here we are saying that when we first come on the planet Earth, we are in that deity phase. And some have come a long time in the past. They start with the deity phase then, and then they continue as warriors. And Some have come here for the first time in this century, and they are still coming. And so they are in that deity phase. And they are, no one can say, I'm going to be a deity from today. That is not possible. But as they go further down the journey, they helplessly find they can't hold on to the standards of the deity after a while. Sometimes you hear some pop star or someone like that. They people saw them, when they were young, and they said, "Wow, this person is like a deity." 20 years down the line, the same person changes. He cannot hold on to his standards, and he gets into different behavior patterns. So in the same lifetime, some of them shift from one phase to the other, they drop. But this journey from the top to the bottom is the journey of the soul over a long, long lifetime, which means many, many births.
In this connection of being a trustee, if a merchant had the awareness of trustee, would it not be better for him to serve the society or the country? Would it be in a better way than a Brahmin? Because he would have the means, financial means, I guess.
Yeah, we are seeing here mindsets. At that time, it is difficult for him. He is more in the mindset of collecting more, me, my. But the same soul down the line, he may become a Brahmin and learn how to be a trustee.
Yeah. Hope that answers the question. There are a couple of questions here that are similar. One is saying, am I not a bit of all of this? And another one, can we be in two phases in any one given time?
There is always overlap when we move from one phase to the other. So you might see some traits of the deity and some of the warrior, or some mix of merchant and Shudra, those things. And some might feel, oh, I got trait of a bit of everything in me. But you will find there is a dominant one. Like, for example, one person says, oh, I like very much the knowledge. I like to listen to talks. I also like football. And I also like what parties also. I also like all three happening on the same day and the same time. Then let us see what is your choice. Sometimes people say they don't commit. There is some seminar happening. They don't commit. They say they want to come, but I will. Once the party is cancelled, then they come. If the party is on, then absolutely no chance of uh, going for the seminar. So you get an idea. Those who are in the Shudra phase, their priorities of one kind. Those who are warrior, they want to see football. And those who are in the Brahmin phase, they have absolute priority. They have no other option. They want to attend this. They won't miss out on anything, opportunity of slightest, the slightest insight into some new knowledge.
I think it's also good to mention that we might feel we have to go through phases, but in a sense, when we feel enough is enough, so it kind of looks different and can feel different for each one. It's an inner feeling. You mentioned we can't handle our own burden. So maybe, I don't know if you want to say something about that. There's a kind of a leapfrog that wherever we're at, we can choose to be Brahmin. It's really our own we know the contrast within the self. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we will discuss more after the break also.
Yes, sounds good. The question for the discussion could be, what is the method to create change? Win over Ravan and create a deity. What do you think?
Yeah, nice.
Shall we take the break now?
Yeah.
So that question is in the chat, and if it helps to start the discussion and enjoy, we'll meet you back in just over 10 minutes. Well, welcome back. I sense there's quite a lot of newness in this subject. So it's so beautiful. And let's create a moment to come back to the simplicity, that deity angel mind. Thank you. So nice feeling of removal of judgment. We're all going through all these phases. That thought came very nice, neutralizing. And let's now welcome Sanjay, who's sharing us from a tropical place, looks like. Good evening.
Good evening and hello everyone again. It seems that we all agreed that to become a good deity, you have to be a good Brahmin first. So means you are fortunate enough to listen to God's knowledge, fortunate again to accept and practice and get the benefits. And if Maya and Ravan comes, then the hard work you give to the Supreme Being, your friend. And you stay light and try to have as much as possible fun. So the way to become a deity is really practice those teachings, knowing that we are a guest. This is one way. Coming not too stuck in this place because we remember our original home. So we come light, no baggages. We are not collecting anything on the way because on the exit we cannot take anything with us, only us the soul without the body even. So what left is to enjoy, to have fun, and on the way maybe touch others, that they can see how benefit they can get from this kind of perspective about what we are and what is it all about. And when you embrace this, we understood when we embrace this perspective that any Ravan or Maya that comes just to give you the opportunity to see where you are at on this journey, how you need more to practice, or what strength did you already got, and what more work you need to do, but you are having a positive view because you know how to deal with those things. You have those powerful points of knowledge that tells you that you are beyond any harm, you are eternal and immortal soul. Everyone is like this, and this is kind of a play that you can enjoy whatever is in the play. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I feel that's really useful. It's sort of bringing it back to the point, like what we are doing now, what is relevant, and this mind that is having the guest consciousness definitely doesn't want to collect things and is not here to compete. And there's a sense of kind of a mission, and that is also the service, but it's also with a higher happiness. It's also got the deity energy in it. It's sort of not a laborious thing or a done from courage. It's more natural wellspring of the unlimited. So it's quite nice to see how that happens, the creation of the deity. Yeah, thank you. And we've got a couple of questions. It's nice if anything came up in the room that you'd like to bring, do feel free. Welcome back, Prashant.
Thank you. Hello and welcome back. Last run of the marathon. I wanted access to the whiteboard, and if there are any questions, let us take the question.
Yes, a couple of questions. For people who do charity work or social work, would they be considered as a deity?
Not necessarily. As was said, we cannot know from the outer life. Someone can be doing the job of the lawyer. Internally, he can be a business. He may be a merchant, or he may be a deity. He may be a Shudra. From the outer, we cannot really know. But each one knows as if.
Why, when there are a lot of like dark forces, I don't know what is meant by that, but in the current world, we might find that there's a lot of negativity. What should we do in that? You mentioned if there are some more of a gravity to lower down the spiral that creates sort of energy in the society. So what could we do or should we do in that case?
And we have been emphasizing this very clear distinction between the environment, that's what we represented by that box, and our existence. And we have the option to be free. We don't have to be subservient to the environment. That's what the main message is this. So many things happen in the environment. There is day and night, and as we saw, the human beings also can go into all levels. No problem. You remain free, and you are absolutely beyond harm. Once you understand that, you ought to realize that this is what you can offer to everyone else. First, become free. And then if you think you can intervene and do something good, you can do that.
Yeah, thank you. So no other questions right now.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. So here we are seeing that we have been referring to these different clans. And as was mentioned just now, no one can say, I want to be a deity today. If let me ask a question to you. If we want to make this world a better world, and you are the president, and you can make this whole world, not just one country, whole world a better world, or even your country a better country, what will be your policy? What will you do? Do you want to tell? What is your priority? Education? Will you build colleges? Will you increase tariff? Will you reduce tariff? Make it free? Globalization? What is your answer to this world? If you are the president.
Make people soul aware is one answer. Knowledge, education, change myself, and then be an example so others will change by your example. And get people to talk to each other and help each other. Focus on children, education, media and music, and all the extras.
Yes, if given what we have discussed so far, we understand that we have the option to create a deity community. That option we have got. Because if you have a deity community, then they all are happy and they all are loving each other and they all, they will create heaven. Let us take another scenario. Some country has got lots of gold, lots of diamonds, rare minerals, and all clever people. But the community is dominated by Shudra and the demon. What will happen to that country?
Maybe degradation. It will get stuck. There will be war, civil war, conflict.
That's true. If this is what is the society made of, then they will sell the diamonds and they will buy machine guns. And there will be so many machine guns everywhere. They want more diamonds and they want more gold. You will change the place into hell very, very quickly if there is a majority of Shudra and a demon. If you have a society of deities, you don't need diamonds, you don't need gold. They will create heaven from what is there. Their life will be such that they are happy, they want to make others happy. There will be a dance. We want to create a community of deities. That option is there. How? How do we create a community of deities? We have to start with the Brahmin. It is not possible even for you and me to say, from today I will be a deity. That is not possible because all these other traits they are very deep. We have gone down that spiral for a long time. That superficially we cannot. Then it is not called a deity. But we can be a student wherever we are, and anyone who understands this, he says, I want to be a student. He becomes a spiritual student, becomes a Brahmin, and then understands the program, how he can bring about a change in himself, how he can learn this higher perspective, play with it, understand more ways how he can experience it. As he's going up the spiral, he will continue to dismantle those traits of the Shudra and the warrior and merchant. He will create himself the deity mentality. And once you have understood this, then it is possible for you to create more opportunities for more people to study. There may be in your town even many people who would like to learn, but there are not many opportunities. What can they do? They don't even know maybe that option is there. And so they are in the Brahmin phase, but they end up learning something, about some other study. But you are giving that option, great opportunities, make it available to more people, promote the Brahmin option. Just as we said, Brahmin creates deities. In the same way, Shudra creates demons. In the present society, most of the governments, they are in the merchant level. Their obsession with the money, finances, tax, that is as if nothing else exists other than managing the finance. That's fine, but governments are at merchant level. And merchants want Shudras. Shudras are those who buy their goods. So the merchant governments actually promote Shudras. You will find in your country, they will not really stop or make it difficult to get alcohol or cigarettes. Or sometimes the governments, they want to introduce casinos, super casinos. Why do they want it? They feel that it will help the government, machinery, they will get more income. But they are quite happy to promote the Shudra culture in the community. This is what has happened, all over. And maybe Shudra become happy also. You make it more easy for their lives. It appears superficially happy. But Shudra creates demons in themselves. More you feed the Shudra, the demon is getting bigger. And down the line, a generation down the line, you will get a Shudra demon community. This is the direction in which we are going at present. And so it is wiser, for you to come back in the government. We said you have to become the president, so that you promote the deity culture and deity community. Otherwise, right now we are going in the opposite direction. In many places, many cities, it has happened in this country also. In the Leeds area, one young boy, he had a knife and he used a knife against the teachers, for slightest reason, but it can happen in many other countries. Can you imagine this 10-year-old, 12-year-old carrying knives with the intention to hurt others, and they had training to use the knife? What is telling you that here is the demon mentality. Demons are not coming from the sky. They are created, and they are created over the years. And it is rather frightening to see what is happening, but we take the position that we can change it. We bring in the Brahmin in a student and make it possible for more to become deities.
I'm not saying we actually need to become political here, but it's more to be a conviction leader. Is that right? Incognito, taking responsibility to become spiritual effort maker. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. And also, you don't need to wait until you become the president. Nothing wrong becoming the president. You don't have to wait. Nothing can stop you from making it possible for more to get opportunities. If you feel that is most important, then make it possible, for more to understand the Brahmin option.
And at many levels, it is so obvious we need to take responsibility, whether it's the health of the body, because companies are not having necessarily the user's health in mind, and media, the overwhelm, we have to take care at that level. And of course, the main thing is what we take in terms of belief systems and the notion of self. So it is in a way a message that's becoming easier to give. The subtlety is what is new. There's a question here in this process of being the change you want to see. How can we motivate children to be inclined towards spirituality?
Yes, of course. Each soul has his journey and is at the right different levels, whatever they are in their journey. But if you are helping yourself as you go up the spiral, that will have a huge effect on others around you, including the children. Not that much the words, but your life will make it easy for them to bring about change.
Can I ask one question? This was actually not directly connected, but it's about our journey. If we are all invisible travelers who are eternal, do we meet the same souls each lifetime, or do they differ? Because sometimes there feels to be more connection to some rather than others. That question is clear.
Yeah, there are some patterns likely that you will meet, but that is all in the story, in the drama. At another level, we all are connected to everyone. We all belong to us, and that is nice to experience. In the drama, we are connected to some, but that is not. Our focus is largely on the role, and that can end up into some dependency also. So at the present time, we say that is a drama, Cinderella, but behind this, everyone is nice and everyone belongs to us.
Yeah, thank you. It might explain some patterns, but the more soul conscious we become, there's actually that feeling of recognition of soul that we can get with everyone in a way, closer to that feeling of equality perhaps behind. So yes, we've almost come to time. If there's something final you want to share, maybe some experience, and then we'll be finishing with a song.
We enjoy the journey, and it was a pleasure to be together and meet again during the follow-up sessions.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will send this information by email in very soon, if not today, tomorrow. I will say if you don't see it, then check the spam, because in this world there is that possibility. And maybe just like to extend a huge thanks to everyone's participation, contribution, your presence. It's been very, very rich. And special thanks to Sanjeev for the sharings and insights, perspective, and also all the coordinators behind the scenes, and Brother Prashant. Thank you. So we will finish with a reflective song, and follow-up will be Friday 13th, auspicious, Saturday 14th, so that's next weekend. If you can't make it, but you're interested, do still register, and we can get you connected to what is monthly from the team, retreats that take place monthly online. Thank you so much. We will finish with a song and enjoy. And yeah, happy journey.
We're not just bodies playing our part in this earthly drama, blind to depart. But deep inside there's a truth we can see. It is not our world for eternity. The silence calls, it's the world we belong, a realm of peace where we are strong. Awaken now to the world of the soul. This earth is a shadow, the true world's whole. Beyond the noise, beyond the race, there's a silent world, a sacred space. We are eternal, pure and free. The riches of the soul world we truly see. This world of illusion, so loud and so bright, is not our home, it's not our light. We are the essence beyond all form. Knowing the soul world, we are transformed. The Father of peace, He calls us near. In His silence, there's nothing to fear. Awaken now to the world of the soul. This earth is a shadow, the true world's whole. Beyond the noise, beyond the race, there's a silent world, a sacred space. We are eternal, pure and free. The riches of the soul world we truly see. The Father supreme, the ocean of light. In the soul world we find our sight. Pure and peaceful beyond the sky. In His embrace we rise, we fly. No harm can touch, no pain can stay. To the soul world we find our way. Awaken now to the world of the soul. This earth is a shadow, the true world's whole. Beyond the noise, beyond the race, there's a silent world, a sacred space. We are eternal, pure